Hey everybody, it's Glenn, back in this video as 31 horror toys in 31 days continue, and this time we're delving back into Toy Biz's Marvel Legends Monsters box set from back in 2006 with the zombie. And of course, for those keeping score, he follows into the spotlight of my channel in the footsteps of Dracula from the set. And just like the Count, the zombie has some Marvel comic pedigree of his own to boast about, as he's not just any old zombie, but is in fact an actual Marvel Comics character. In fact, his comic history predates Marvel Comics itself. For his first appearance, you have to go way back to Menace number 5. That was published in the 1950s by Atlas Comics, the company that would eventually evolve into Marvel Comics. In that story, Simon William Garth was a coffee company executive who is kidnapped by his gardener, who he previously fired. Then at the hands of said gardener, he then becomes victim of a voodoo human sacrifice plot that sees him die and subsequently mystically resurrected as a zombie. Sounds all kinds of hokey, I know, but cut Stan Lee some slack. He wrote this in the 1950s. To prep for the Ant-Man movie, I read Tales to Astonish where Ant-Man debuted, and they were just as hokey, and from a decade later. The zombie would eventually be dragged into modern Marvel Comics continuity in the 1970s with his own title, Tales of the Zombie. A figure of a zombie by their nature really lend themselves to deco with washes and heavy-handed dry brushing, really accentuating the sculpt of torn clothing and festering flesh. And we get that here, creating a definite look of having been buried in the ground and clawed his way to the surface. But as we take a closer look, and the thing that bugs me most about this figure is the hair, which looks like a wig, right? I think if you're a zombie, you have more pressing concerns than becoming vain about your balding. The head sculpt is cool though, like how it's sculpted as if its nose has rotted away, and the deco of the eyes with yellow paint gives him a piercing stare. As for the specks of blue paint on his face, not sure if he came like that or he's got too up close and personal to me while I've been customizing something else. Now looking at articulation, and he has rotation at both the base of the neck there, and then the head also rotates, seems a bit needless, and then the head moves forward this much, but then doesn't really move back owing to his wig, hair. Then at the shoulder, his arm rotates, albeit really quite stiff, and then the arm moves up this much. There's upper arm rotation, followed by a double jointed elbow, then rotation again, mid-lower arm, and then there is a wrist hinge, but it doesn't really move down any and moves up this far, and then there's finger articulation. Rotation at the waist. At the hips, his legs move out to the side quite a lot. They move this far forward and then this far back. There's upper leg rotation, followed by a double jointed knee. And then at the ankle, his foot is hinged, moving backwards and forwards. And there is no ankle pivot, boo, but his toes are articulated. So that's the Marvel Legends zombie, dating all the way back to the 1950s. He was way ahead of the zombie craze of the last few years, The Walking Dead and whatnot. And it's been good to do this video so we can all pay our respects to Marvel's original zombie. And it seems in the past decade, with every other Marvel character turning into a zombie, he's shuffled out of the spotlight to finally find his resting place. Anyway, for a closer look at the Marvel Legends Dracula from this set, click the video on the left, and for my previous video, click the one on the right there. And I hope to see you all next time. Bye.